Trump may have just announced his next presidential run. Facebook says they're going to leave Trump banned for the next 2 years, and Trump calls for China to pay for reparations from the pandemic.
Rebuilding means electing leaders who get things done. Jennifer McClellan has spent the last 15 years fighting to ensure working families make a living wage and have access to health care. With her perspective and action, Virginians can recover from this pandemic. Now you can vote to make McClellan the first Black woman governor in the U.S. McClellan will continue to look out for us and uplift our voices. Vote early now or on June 8th. Let's put her in the governor's mansion. Paid for by Care in Action. Authorized by Jennifer McClellan for governor.
We're getting into all this and more right now. I'm Joey Saladino. Please drop the video a like, follow, and subscribe for more podcasts and news daily. And if you want to only listen, go to your podcast app and type in Joey Saladino Show, and boom, I'll pop up. You go subscribe there. So let's read this. So Trump's statement stated this: next time I'm in the White House, there will be no more dinners at his request with Mark Zuckerberg and his wife. It will be all business. Now, obviously, it is very unclear whether he means he's going to be running again or if this means that election fraud is going to be determined and he's going to be put back in office. Who knows what he thinks, but it seems like he's got ambitions to get back in the office. Now, this was coming right after Facebook announced that former President Trump's account will remain suspended for 2 more years. I'm going to comment below real quick. Do you think Trump should be back sooner? Obviously, I think he should be back, and I'm sure you guys think that he should be back sooner. It seems a little ridiculous to keep him banned for nearly 3 years. So Facebook gives Trump a path to return, but not until at least 2023. The announcement comes after an oversight board criticized the former president's indefinite ban. Facebook announced Friday that former President Donald Trump's account will remain suspended for at least 2 years, setting a timetable for his potential return after an oversight board criticized the company's indefinite ban of his posts during the Capitol riots. Given the gravity of the circumstances that led Mr. Trump's suspension, we believe his actions constitute a severe violation of our rules, which merit the highest penalty available under the new enforcement protocols. Facebook's Vice President of Global Affairs, Nick Clegg, even said 23, the company said further sanctions are possible if it believes Trump poses a danger or if he breaks the rules again. Now, it's funny how they can't, I don't think they show not one time where he actually did break the rules. In any of these articles that I'm reading, I've never seen them say, this is the post that did it. This is, look, read this post. This is a clear violation. I've never seen them show me a post, and I don't think I see one in this article either. You know, a lot of claims they got to prove, and no way to prove it. Both Trump and his critics slammed Facebook's new timetable, which could allow the former president to return to the platform ahead of the potential 2024 White House run. Facebook's ruling is an insult to the record-setting 75 million people, plus many others who voted for us in the 2020 rigged presidential election, Trump said in a statement, repeating his false claims of mass election fraud. Wow, they always got to throw that in. And in another statement, Trump again raised, there's so much stuff that we've been flagged and penalized on
everybody should definitely come to Baltimore.
We have a way of speaking to each other through food.
It's really renewed for me my love of what I do.
It's gonna take something far stronger than a pandemic to defeat us.
All of these businesses are taking precautions to make sure that everyone is safe. We're ready.
See what we've got going on. Plan your visit at baltimore.org.
All these platforms, the mainstream media has been against us all the time. And every single time there's email leak dumps. There's always more news stories coming out proving that we were right the whole time and the entire media narrative has been false. So is this going to be another case if audits go through and forensic audits and the ballots get looked into? Is this going to be another example of another I told you so moment? Because how many I told you so moments can we possibly have before people start waking up? So White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, whatever her name is, who cares, circle around girl, meanwhile expressed doubt at the notion of Trump could change his posting habits enough to avoid further penalties. We learned a lot from Trump, the former president, over the last couple of years about his behavior and how he uses the platform, she told reporters at a press briefing. Feels pretty unlikely that the zebra is going to change its stripes over the next 2 years. So I'm honestly surprised. I wonder if she actually got that through in one single coherent sentence, or if the media is actually just, omitting the circle back to you, or omitting all the ums from this quote. The ban and how Trump can return. Facebook first suspended Trump's account in the wake of posts during the siege to the Capitol, whatever. All right, they're just getting into a bunch of nonsense. But also, I'm going to go into another statement from Trump real quickly. So Trump calls for China to pay reparations for the pandemic. Now, obviously, I think this is the thing. China did a thing. They should be held liable and responsible. But why are we diverting the blame from China, from the Democrats who did the lockdowns and gave in to the BS? Why are we not diverting the blame to them? Why are we? Obviously, I think China should pay regardless. They should pay for their handling of the COVID, obviously, for COVID supposedly, maybe possibly coming from their own lab. But then we should also hold the Democrats accountable for locking everything down when we told them no, and we're being proved right every single day. So Steve Cortez tweeted out, President Trump to China, you owe us $10 trillion in biological war reparations. Now, that's another thing. I've been saying this for a while. I think purposely China was being very sketchy with coronavirus in order to whip Democrats up into a frenzy to destroy our own economy. It wasn't about people's lives or anything, because the amount of lives that actually did die from COVID is honestly a drop in the bucket, and they're old. So that doesn't seem like it was the point, to wipe out populations. Like, why would you want, if you're going to have biological warfare, why would you wipe out literally the most dispensable portions of the population, economically wise? Like, you're just going to wipe out a bunch of old people from nursing homes? I mean, that's not going to really do much damage to a country. Let's just be real here. But the damage that came in was the Democrats' reaction. And I think that's what they were trying to do all along. As we see, Fang was, she was helping out a lot of Democrat campaigns a few years ago. Now, this is a statement by Trump. Now, everyone, even the so-called enemies, are beginning to say that President Trump was right about the China virus coming from the Wuhan lab. The correspondence between Dr. Fauci and China speaks too loudly for anyone to ignore. China should pay $10 trillion to America and the world for the death and destruction they have caused. Someone responded, which I think was pretty funny. Perhaps Mexico will pay? Question mark. I think that's kind of funny. I'm just going to go through some of these responses that people said. By the end of the year, that $10 trillion will be worth about $500 million. President Trump is the only leader with enough guts to call China to pay $10 trillion in reparations to the world over the COVID-19 outbreak. Watch Jason Miller address President Trump. I don't want to watch anything. Trump is pro-reparations. That's pretty funny as well. So I want you guys to comment your thoughts on all that. Obviously, China should have to pay something. We all know nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to be done, especially with Biden in office and his administration. We should just assume nothing good is going to come out from this administration, especially in dealings with China. And what I'm really hoping for is, what I've been saying this since day one, and we'll see if I'm right in the next couple of years. I think Biden is a necessary evil, so people could understand and realize how good of a president Trump was. Because you have to think, you have all these brain-dead liberals coming off of the Obama administration. It was all praise be to Obama, who can never do no wrong. And then all of a sudden Trump comes in, and, obviously these people are completely brainwashed, completely listening to the mainstream media. And then all of a sudden Trump comes in, and all the mainstream media is, look how bad this person is, look how evil this person is, yada, 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 go on, whatever. And these brainwashed people are like, wow, yeah, look, he's so bad. We need to get another Obama type of person in. Oh, let's get Biden in. They get him in, and now they can see, look at the inflation rates, look at the living costs increasing, look at the price of fuel and gas, look at the price of everything going up around you. And look at the slow economic recovery since Biden took office. He's been undershooting the expectations. Remember when Trump was overshooting the expectations? It's very simple. And now, obviously, all the people fleeing blue states for red states, the choice should be clear. Obviously, there are people that are so stupid and so stuck in their ways where nothing's going to change their mind. But I do have faith in probably a few percentage points of the population, maybe enough to win elections, that will actually start to wake up. You got to really realize we're only ever seeing people being red-pilled. We're never seeing people be blue-pilled. So we must never stop this fight. Hey, if each individual out there, all you guys could even red-pill one person a week or even one person a month, if everybody out there is doing some type of red-pilling to people, that goes a long way. Because we know the Democrats, they're not really trying to convince people. They're not really trying to win this ideological battle with logic. They're just trying to do it through either fraud or just importing immigrants, keeping people on the welfare state. They're doing it not from, I guess, a philosophy standpoint. They're doing it more on a bribing, illegitimate. We all know how the Democrats act and operate, and that's how they're trying to win. We're trying to win on, I guess a philosophical, what's actually better for everybody. They're trying to win on bribing and creating fake crises with social justice and all that BS. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Please subscribe to the post notifications on new every single day. Share this podcast with your friends so they can subscribe. That'd be really cool. If you want to become a Patreon of mine to help support and fund my show, the show's completely funded and supported by you guys. The link to my Patreon should be in the description or in the bio or wherever it is.
We're no longer working twice as hard to go half as far. This year, we have a chance to prove to our children that being qualified matters, that fighting for what's right matters, and that experience on the job matters. Jennifer McClellan has spent over 15 years fighting for Virginians, helping expand healthcare, pushing for fair labor laws, and fighting to protect the right to vote. Her perspective as a Black woman, a working mom, and community leader gives her the unique experience needed to make sure that everyone, regardless of where they live or how they look, can recover from this pandemic. We need her. Vote for Jennifer McClellan in the Virginia primary election on or before June 8th. Paid for by Care in Action. Authorized by Jennifer McClellan for governor.
What else?
We have a unique chance to make history right here in Virginia. On June 8th, we can elect Jennifer McClellan to become the first Black woman governor in the United States and put a new leader in office who fights for us all. She spent 15 years in the Virginia legislature, protecting voting rights, fighting for healthcare expansion, and trying to build a brighter future for all Virginians. The experience she brings as a Black woman, a working mom, and a community leader is crucial to her ability to listen, solve problems, and always uplift the voices of those who have been ignored. This is the perspective we need so that no one is left out of the recovery. Let's go boldly into the future of our Commonwealth. Vote early for Jennifer McClellan for governor in the Virginia primary election or on June 8th. Paid for by Care in Action. Authorized by Jennifer McClellan for governor. Experience fighting voter suppression? Check. The commitment to improve our public schools? Check. A plan to expand affordable housing and healthcare for all Virginians? Check, check, check. Jennifer McClellan has over 15 years of experience creating change for communities that are often left behind or looked over. Now you can vote for her to become the first Black woman governor in the United States. Vote early or on June 8th for Jennifer McClellan for governor. Paid for by Care in Action. Authorized by Jennifer McClellan for governor.
I guess that's pretty much about it.
Experience fighting voter suppression? Check. The commitment to improve our public schools? Check. A plan to expand affordable housing and healthcare for all Virginians? Check, check, check. Jennifer McClellan has over 15 years of experience creating change for communities that are often left behind or looked over. Now you can vote for her to become the first Black woman governor in the United States. Vote early or on June 8th for Jennifer McClellan for governor. Paid for by Care in Action. Authorized by Jennifer McClellan for governor. We have a unique chance to make history right here in Virginia. On June 8th, we can elect Jennifer McClellan to become the first Black woman governor in the United States and put a new leader in office who fights for us all. She spent 15 years in the Virginia legislature, protecting voting rights, fighting for health care expansion, and trying to build a brighter future for all Virginians. The experience she brings as a Black woman, a working mom, and a community leader is crucial to her ability to listen, solve problems, and always uplift the voices of those who have been ignored. This is the perspective we need so that no one is left out of the recovery. Let's go boldly into the future of our Commonwealth. Vote early for Jennifer McClellan for governor in the Virginia primary election or on June 8th. Paid for by Care in Action. Authorized by Jennifer McClellan for governor.
Listening. Peace out.
Experience fighting voter suppression? Check. The commitment to improve our public schools? Check. A plan to expand affordable housing and health care for all Virginians? Check, check, check. Jennifer McClellan has over 15 years of experience creating change for communities that are often left behind or looked over. Now you can vote for her to become the first Black woman governor in the United States. Vote early or on June 8th for Jennifer McClellan for governor. Paid for by Care in Action. Authorized by Jennifer McClellan for governor.